Hey guys, it's Joel and welcome back to the channel. Now, today I want to share something with you which I believe genuinely every BMW owner should have. If you're new to the channel, then please do make sure to subscribe, and the same can be said for the 80% or so of you that do watch the channel regularly and are still not subscribed. Please do go ahead and hit that big red button now. It really helps. Now, if you have been subscribed to the channel for a while, then you may have seen this thing before. But if it is something that you've never known about, then I'm very excited actually to share it with you. So I am pleased to say today that this video is sponsored by Carly, and they have very kindly sent me out their latest OBD reader. Now, there's also a new app that comes with it, and I've had a quick look, and there's a load of other functionalities that are now possible with this OBD reader. There are endless things you can do to your car with this product, from resetting warning lights to checking fault codes, coding certain hidden features that are available from standard on your car. And I must say that it's not just limited to BMW. They work with many other manufacturers as well. But anyway, I must open this up because the new one comes in a very nice little box, and inside is a very neat looking OBD reader. Now, for those of you that don't know what this is, this basically plugs directly into your car. You don't have to do anything. I'll show you where, a little hatch where you can plug this in. And then when you connect it to your phone with the app, there are all of these features which I'm going to show you in today's video. So when they did offer to send me out the new product, because it has been received so well by so many of you before, I had to jump at the opportunity to bring it back on the channel and show you some of the newer features that are available with this new reader. I must say as well that if you do, by the end of this video, decide you want to go ahead and get one of these, you can get 20% off your OBD reader using the code JOEL20 if you go through the link in my description. Big thank you to anyone that does do that, because you are directly supporting the channel, and a massive thanks to Carly again for sponsoring this video, because brands like that really help small channels like mine to keep going, especially through these particularly challenging times. So then why am I saying that this is a product that every BMW owner should have? Well, it is just because there are so many things that you can do literally from your own driveway. You just plug this in and connect it to your phone, which I'll demonstrate very shortly. And there's lots of things you can do which otherwise you might have to take it to a garage to get it up on a ramp or reset a certain fault code that only they can do, whereas now you'll be able to do this from home, which actually involves a cost saving, but we'll get into that as well. So anyway, without further ado, let me connect this up to the car and I'll just show you through some of the things that you can do with this product. Honestly, if I showed you everything, this video would be several hours long, and I don't think that would be too fun for anyone. So once you've turned the ignition on your car and plugged in the OBD reader, all you've got to do is go onto the Carly application. And at the bottom, there's a big button that says connect. So you just do that and it will do it all for you and connect to the adapter. So the first thing you'll hit with initially is some insights about your car. Mine says that the fault probability is high and the mileage fraud probability is medium, which is interesting. So the first thing I'm going to do is check out the fault probability and why that's high. So if I go into health here, it will check for all of these 14 systems or so on my car. It says the health status is good, although I have to say I did scan this fairly recently. So if I check for issues, maybe or maybe not, it will throw up a couple. And this is taking a unreassuringly long time, so it's getting me a little bit worried about what it might throw up. Oh, diagnostics completed. And, so I've got, health status is very bad. Systems with issues, I've got my central chassis electronics thrown up, car alarm, interior protection, but okay, I'm not quite sure what that is. And then instrument cluster, I'm guessing this is going to be, it's my airbag warning light, which I've got. Now, if I do clear issues, that should then get rid of the warning light, but also reset whatever that weird chassis thing was, which would be very helpful. And of course, if otherwise, this is probably something I would have had to go to a garage to get done, and I don't know what I guess garages charge about 50 quid for a simple code read. I guess it's different wherever you are, but it says clearing completed, and I guess if I check for issues again now, potentially there won't be any. Let's hope anyway. Diagnostics completed again. No issues, fantastic. So now my health status is good. Now what Carly recommends obviously is to check again in a few days, because if anything keeps coming back up recurringly, then potentially it is something that you do need to get looked at elsewhere. But for now at least, my health status is good, so I can at least drive home confident that it's not going to blow up or explode randomly. Anyway, so that's the first thing that I've done here, is a health check. I've cleared the issues, and now apparently my car status is good. Now at the top it says I've saved 340 euros. Now that is because of certain things I've done. Now this is probably taking into account ones I've done before, but it says I've done 6 health diagnostics, which is 120 euros worth. I've done the used car check, which is like the fraud and the mileage stuff to check that that's not been tampered with. Apparently that's worth 150 euros at a workshop. Coding 35 euros a time, and live data 35 euros a time. I'll show you these other functionalities shortly, but actually there have been a few comments in the past where people talk about the fact that it is actually an annual subscription to get the full version of this app, but it is about £50 a year. And obviously if you, just like me, use this once or twice and save yourself several £100s, it does make it worthwhile as a financial investment to have. Anyway, health is done. Customization coding. So this is where you can unlock hidden features of your BMW and of course any other car that you might have. Now, this being 2004 Z4, there's, I say, a fairly limited choice of coding functionalities just because of, I guess, how complex this car is from a ECU or technology standpoint. But the first time I did do this, I was surprised at how much there was available. But say you've got something newer like a 1 Series or a M4, there would be far many more options, pages and pages of options of things you can do. So here I've got the locking and comfort functions module. So if I read out the GM5 module, it will come up with everything that I can do in terms of this. So if I wanted to, I could change lots of different things. So for example, optical confirmation of unlocking and locking vehicle. That is literally where your blinkers or your indicators flash when you unlock or lock your vehicle. You can choose to turn that on or off. You can also choose to turn on an audible notification of the fact that you've unlocked or locked your vehicle, which I've got on for locking. It makes a little beep sound when you lock the car. And well, I just like that really. It reminds me that I've locked the car, and it reminds me if I haven't locked the car, if I don't hear the sound, if that makes any sense. So that's actually quite handy. You can also choose how long you want the interior lighting to stay on after you've locked the car. So 0 seconds, 5 seconds, 15 seconds, or 20 seconds. I've got it on 20. Not really something that bothers me, but it's just quite funny and quirky that you can do this. Now, my favorite feature, which I actually did a whole video on before, probably a year ago when Carly first started working with me, was the fact that in these Z4s, now from standard my model, you can only open and close the roof using the buttons inside the car when the car is sort of switched on. Now, with this, you can actually code it so that from your key, using the unlock button, you can unlock and open the roof from outside the car, and the same thing to close the roof with the lock button, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And actually, for me, owning a Z4 convertible is probably a good enough function for me to justify getting the product in itself, because honestly, it's actually just, I don't know why, but just really satisfying being able to do that remotely. So that is probably my favorite functionality, at least for this car, that you can code. And there are so many other functions in here as well, such as secondary unlocking. You can choose which lights you want to stay on when the car is locked, and also the threshold at which you want the car to automatically lock when you start driving, which is, I actually have set at 10 miles an hour. You can also change how long you want it to take for the boot to open with the boot open button. You can press it once, twice, or with a delay. And there are many, many other functions in here as well. I'm literally scrolling down quite fast, and I'm not going to go through all of them because, like I say, we'll be here for a long time. You can even turn off the headlight cleaning function, because actually, if you've just cleaned the car and then your headlights pop up and spray water on the bonnet, it's actually going to leave swirl marks and stuff. So I should probably turn that off, but I'm going to leave it on just for now so we can go through some other modules. So the lights module is another one. And on here, actually my favorite one, which I did to my car, was you can turn on the US side marker. So for those of you in the US, you'll know, because most cars out there, they have like their indicator strips always on when the car's driving. In the UK, that's not a standard thing, but with this Carly app, you can turn that on, which I have done. And it means that at night, actually, when I just turn the car on, The front end looks pretty aggressive because you've got the orange indicator strips lit up all the time. So I really love that. You can change it to US turn signals, US brake lights, daytime running lights you can switch on. You can turn the intensity of those to how you like, and lots of other things. Follow me home lights, that's how long they stay on when you get out of the car. You can turn that all the way up to about 4 minutes or so. So like I say, an endless amount of stuff. On this car, there's also a Cabrio module, which you can code certain features on. And on this car, which is quite handy, you can actually, so to open the roof of this car, unfortunately, unlike newer models, you have to be completely stopped. However, you can switch it on so that the car will continue to close the roof if you start driving. So for example, you're stuck at a set of traffic lights and the rain starts pouring down and you think, shit, I need to get the roof up quickly. Well, in this car, you have to be stopped. So if those lights turn green midway through you closing that roof, you're literally going to have to stay stationary until it's done. But with this, being able to turn it on, it allows you to carry on that process up to around 10, 15 miles an hour. So actually, it's helped me a couple of times where that exact thing has happened. People are beeping at me because the lights turn green, but I can slowly creep forward and finish closing the roof before it stops. So that is super helpful. And if I was to code something right now, you would literally just select what you want, hit code now. It creates a backup of exactly how your car was before. So if you decide you want to revert it back to original, you can do that with a click of a button. And it just takes a few seconds or so to code certain things. Once you then try that feature, it will work as you've specified. So really, really cool that you can do this all from the comfort of your own car, from your own home, or wherever you are. And like I say, on newer cars, newer BMW models and whatever other manufacturer you might have, there are so many other functions that you can do. For example, on my friend's E89 Z4, which is the generation after this one, there was maybe 2 or 3 more pages of coding functionalities because that's just got a slightly more technological ECU, I suppose you could say. Anyway, other things you can do on here, used car check. That shows like your mileage check. I can run this now actually. So it'll basically check that, I guess, with your VIN number that everything is as it should be. So on here, it will tell me what my current mileage is, how many miles I've driven annually up to now, and sort of where my car sits in the sort of high or low mileage bracket for my car. This one sits in the high mileage bracket, understandably, because I'm on 152,500 miles. There are other things within that used car check, and something that I've actually been using and enjoying quite a lot is this live data function. So there's lots of apps that will do this, but this one does it quite nicely. If you start a readout and I was to start driving now, I will play over a screen recording of this working, but it will show you certain live recordings of what's going on with your engine temperature, your oil kilometer, your speed, and your coolant temperature, for example. You can change what you want on there, but you can literally log that as well and save it automatically every time you drive, and you'll get then a graph of sort of how your car's been performing over time. So really good if you do just want to keep track of, I guess, your car's performance and your car's health. That's what this app is really good for. And now apparently I've saved 525 euros because I have obviously checked the car, the used car check again, and I've done the live data function again. So yeah, although this is an annual subscription and you've got the initial cost of the OBD reader, which with 20% off, I think is less than $50, just by using it once or twice, you've made your money back. And I do genuinely recommend this product. I wouldn't be bringing it onto this channel if it wasn't something that I actually used. And it is something that I used before I even worked with Carly and knew about. So I genuinely cannot recommend this product enough. I do really think that every BMW owner should have this because it does just give you a lot of opportunity to do things with your car that you probably didn't think were possible before. So as I said, if you do want to go ahead and get one of these for yourself, you can get 20% off the OBD reader with my discount code and going through that link in my description. So with that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have seen me feature this product before, I apologize if you've seen most of this, but as I said, it is very kind of Carly to send me out the new OBD reader because one, it gives me content for the channel, and this is content that I like doing, and also they are supporting me in this time where it's a lot trickier to make money from YouTube. And also, as I mentioned a minute ago, I'm very happy to share with you products that I genuinely enjoy and think you will as well. So do please go ahead, get yourself one of these and let me know how you get on with it because I think you'll love it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please do make sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you're still not subscribed to the channel and you're watching now, please do hit that subscribe button. I've got lots of exciting content coming up, especially as now lockdown is slightly easing. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very, very soon.